Alright people, by now I am assuming that we all know the importance of combos in Anthem, and of course we know the two things that make up a combo, a primer and a detonator. I'm telling you, if you don't know that by this time or by this point, you might have to replay the critical path of the game. But if you're like me, or most of the Storm mains out there, I know some of you don't like to prime stuff, you just want to detonate and blow stuff up. And that is nice, and I know the really crazy thing is when your entire team expects you to prime stuff, and then you expect them to prime stuff because you're using Storm, only to realize you don't have a primer on your team. A mission that's supposed to take you 5 minutes, now it's taking you 15 minutes because everybody is using raw damage. We've all been there. So if you're one of those people, or let's say you're just new to Anthem and you like to rock all detonators, then you're going to like this weapon. This is called the RALNER'S Blaze. This weapon is an elemental auto rifle. After 5 hits on a single target, the weapon sets the enemies on fire, and not just any type of fire. I'm talking primers here. Primer fire. That's right, the weapon primes targets for you, and that is crazy. That is one of the only few unique things about certain weapons in this game, and that is also what makes this weapon really special. For a lot of Ranger mains out there who hate the fact that the Ranger melee is a primer, if you ever find a masterworked or legendary RALNER'S Blaze, please don't let it go to waste. Even if you're going to scrap it later on, make sure that you unlock the blueprints for it so you can get a god roll for it. And if you're a Storm main rocking all detonators, then you're going to love this weapon. The other cool thing about this rifle is also the fact that the fire damage stacks and deals damage over time, and you don't even have to hit a crit spot on an enemy to proc that fire effect. Against low level enemies, it's basically going to wipe them out and kill them, but the real strength of this weapon is when you're going against that Grandmaster 2 and Grandmaster 3 enemies. In high levels, it's going to set enemies up for detonator every single time. It's basically an infinite primer, giving you the opportunity to bring both ability keys for back-to-back detonation, and that is one of the really cool things about this weapon. Maybe you want to rock double grenades or a grenade and a missile like most Rangers do, then this is going to work for you. If you're an Interceptor, Colossus, maybe you have other options, but this is still a wonderful weapon. And if you're using Storm and you mostly detonate all the time, then this is going to be a wonderful choice. This and other elemental weapons and primers out there. The only downside for this weapon is that you gotta land 5 shots on that one enemy, and if the target is flopping around, it can really be hard to make use of that special perk. It also has another downside, which is going to be the ammo economy. Unless you have an extra ammo stat, then you're going to be constantly reloading this weapon. I mean, most weapons at this point, you need to reload them all the time. Another downside is the fact that certain enemies are very small compared to you, so if you're fighting Dominion, Outlaw, or Scar infantry, which is on-foot enemies, then you will have to aim for a body shot instead of a headshot. The head is just too small for you to make use of that 5 consecutive hits. But other than that, this is still a great weapon. It is an amazing weapon. I've been enjoying it so far, and for those of you who like the elemental weapon combos, you can pair this up with Elemental Rage, which will boost elemental damage when hitting elite enemies. You can hit the enemies with Elemental Rage, wait for the perk to show up, and then switch over to RALNER'S Gaze, and you have these beautiful damage numbers. Now, it may not be the best weapon or the best auto rifle in the game based on certain people's standards, but that damage over time is so useful. It is just amazing. It also seems to bypass shields at times. Now that I don't know if it was intended or if it was a bug, but it was still fun, a little bit fun when I see it bypass certain shields. So overall, this is a weapon that can create a foundation for many unique builds. Because of the fact that you have a primer here, you don't have to worry about priming enemies with other abilities. You can just rock all detonators, go for a more versatile or a more unique build. So anyways, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think about this, and do you have a RALNER'S Blaze and do you use it on your builds? Thanks for watching. It's DS signing out. I'll see you in the next one.